Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the English Brain Podcast, your podcast for real conversation practice and easy English in daily life.
And today's episode is a B1 level episode. So if you are an intermediate learner, this is just right for you.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. We're really happy you're here with us today.
Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel confused about when to use would in English?
Or maybe you understand would in grammar books, but you don't know how to use it in real conversations.
Today, we're going to teach you exactly how to use would in English.
All the different ways native speakers use would and why it's such an important word.
By the end of this episode, you'll feel confident using would in your speaking and writing.
But first, one tiny favor.
One small tap for your finger and one big boost for the English brain community.
If you enjoy learning with us, please like this episode and subscribe to the English Brain.
It helps more learners find us and join this community of motivated English brains.
And write a quick comment. Tell us, what's the hardest grammar word for you in English?
When you write, you're training your English brain. It gets stronger every time.
Okay, let's talk about today's topic. How to use would in English.
Would is one of the most common words in English.
But it's also one of the most confusing because it has so many different uses.
So today, we'll break it down step by step with clear examples.
We'll also give you practical exercises so you can start using would today.
Let's start with the basics. What is would?
Would is a modal verb.
Modal verbs are special helping verbs like can, should, must, might.
They express possibility, ability, permission, or obligation.
Would specifically expresses hypothetical situations, politeness, past habits, and future from the past.
That sounds complicated.
It does. But don't worry, we'll explain each use with simple examples.
First, let's talk about the form. How do we use would in a sentence?
The structure is subject plus would plus base verb.
For example, I would go, you would like, she would help, we would eat.
Notice that would never changes. It's always would, never woulds.
And we always use the base form of the verb after would.
Not I would to go or I would going, just I would go.
For negative sentences, we use would not or the contraction wouldn't. I wouldn't go, she wouldn't like it, they wouldn't help.
For questions, we put would before the subject. Would you go? Would she like it? Would they help?
Now let's look at all the different ways we use would.
Use number 1, polite requests.
We use would to make requests more polite.
For example, would you pass me the salt, please?
Or, would you mind closing the window?
These are much more polite than, can you pass me the salt or close the window?
Would makes your request softer and more respectful.
Here are more examples. Would you help me with this bag?
Would you open the door for me, please?
Would you mind waiting here for a moment?
Use number 2, polite offers and invitations.
We use would you like to offer something politely?
For example, would you like some tea?
Or would you like to sit down?
Or would you like me to help you?
These are polite ways to offer help or give something to someone.
You can also use would you like to invite someone.
Would you like to come to dinner on Friday?
Would you like to join us for coffee?
Use number 3, preferences.
We use would to talk about what we prefer.
The structure is I would like, or I would love, or I would prefer,
For example, I would like a glass of water.
or I would love to visit Japan someday.
Or I would prefer tea instead of coffee.
We often contract I would to I'd. I'd like a glass of water. I'd love to visit Japan. I'd prefer tea.
You can also use would rather to express preference. I would rather stay home tonight.
I'd rather walk than take the bus.
Use number 4, hypothetical situations in the present or future.
This is the second conditional.
We use it to imagine unreal or unlikely situations.
The structure is if plus past tense, comma, subject plus would plus base verb.
For example, if I had more money, I would travel the world.
Notice the if clause uses past tense, had, but we're talking about now or the future.
That's because we're imagining an unreal situation.
More examples. If I were you, I would apologize.
If she studied harder, she would pass the exam.
If we lived near the beach, we would go swimming every day.
Use number 5. Hypothetical situations in the past.
This is the third conditional.
We use it to imagine how the past could have been different.
The structure is if plus past perfect, comma, subject plus would have plus past participle.
For example, if I had known about the party, I would have gone.
This means I didn't know about the party, so I didn't go.
More examples. If we had left earlier, we would have caught the train.
If she had studied, she would have passed the exam.
Use number 6. Past habits.
We can use would to talk about things we did regularly in the past but don't do anymore.
For example, when I was a child, I would play outside every day.
Or, my grandmother would tell us stories before bed.
This means it was a habit or routine in the past.
More examples. Every summer, we would go camping.
My dad would drive me to school when I was young.
Use number 7, future in the past.
This is when we talk about something that was in the future from a past perspective.
That sounds confusing.
Let me explain with examples. I thought it would rain today.
In the past, I thought something. The rain was future from that past moment.
More examples. She said she would call me later.
He promised he would help us.
They knew they would be late.
Use number 8, reported speech.
When we report what someone said, we often change will to would.
For example, direct speech is, I will come tomorrow.
Reported speech is, he said he would come tomorrow.
More examples. Direct speech, I will help you.
Reported speech, she said she would help me.
Use number 9, giving advice.
We often use if I were you, I would to give advice.
For example, if I were you, I would talk to your boss about this.
Or if I were you, I wouldn't eat that.
This is a polite way to suggest what someone should do.
Use number 10. Expressing wishes.
We use I wish plus would to express wishes about the future.
For example, I wish it would stop raining.
Or, I wish he would call me.
This expresses something you want to happen, but probably won't.
Now let me tell you a story about a student and would.
I'm listening.
I had a student named Paolo from Italy. He knew about would in theory, but he never used it in conversation
Why not?
because he was afraid of making mistakes.
That's common.
So every time he wanted to make a request, he would say things like, give me water, or tell me the answer.
That sounds very direct.
Exactly. It sounded rude even though he was a nice person.
What did you do?
I taught him 3 simple phrases. Would you please? I would like, and if I were you, I would.
Just 3 phrases.
Yes, and I told him to use them every day for 1 week.
What happened?
After 1 week, his English sounded so much more polite and natural.
Because he was using would correctly.
Exactly. 3 phrases made a huge difference.
So now, let's give you some practice exercises.
Exercise 1. Change direct requests to polite requests using would.
The example, I'll say, open the door, and you change it to, would you open the door, please?
Ready? Open the window.
Would you open the window, please?
Help me with this bag.
Would you help me with this bag, please?
Turn down the music.
Would you turn down the music, please?
Exercise 2. Express preferences using I would like or I would love.
The example, tea or coffee?
I would like coffee, please. Or I'd like coffee, please.
Stay home or go out?
I would rather stay home. Or I'd rather stay home.
Pizza or pasta?
I'd like pizza, please. Exercise 3. Complete second conditional sentences.
If I had more time, I would.
I would learn a new language. Or I would travel more. Or I would exercise every day.
If I won the lottery, I would.
I would buy a house. Or I would help my family. Or I would travel the world.
If I could live anywhere, I would.
I would live in Paris. Or I would live near the beach. Or I would live in the mountains.
Exercise 4. Talk about past habits using would.
Think about your childhood. What did you do regularly?
When I was a child, I would. When I was a child, I would play outside every day.
When I was young, my family would.
When I was young, my family would have dinner together every night.
Now, let's look at common mistakes with would.
Mistake number 1. Using would with present tense.
Wrong. I would to go to the beach.
Correct. I would go to the beach.
Remember, always use the base form of the verb after would.
Mistake number 2. Using two modal verbs together.
Wrong. I would can help you.
Correct. I would be able to help you.
You cannot use would plus another modal like can or must.
Mistake number 3. Confusing would and will.
Will is for real future plans.
I will go to the store tomorrow. This is a real plan.
Would is for hypothetical or imagined situations.
I would go to the store if I had time. This is imagined.
Mistake number 4. Forgetting to use would in the second conditional.
Wrong. If I had money, I'd buy a car.
Correct. If I had money, I would buy a car.
Always use would in the main clause of second conditional sentences.
Now, let's talk about why would is so important for English learners.
Reason 1, it makes you sound polite.
English speakers use would all the time to be polite.
Compare, can you help me with would you help me please?
The second one sounds much more polite. Reason 2, it helps you express hypothetical thoughts.
Native speakers think and talk about imaginary situations all the time.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
Where would you live if you could choose anywhere?
If you can't use would, you can't participate in these conversations.
Reason 3, it's essential for storytelling.
When you tell stories about the past, you often use would.
He said he would call me, but he never did.
I thought it would be easy, but it was very difficult.
So, what can you do today after this episode?
Step 1. Choose 3 uses of would that are most useful for you.
Maybe polite requests, preferences, and second conditional.
Step 2. Write 5 example sentences using would.
Use the patterns we taught you today.
Step 3. Write in the comments. Complete this sentence. If I could change one thing in my life, I would.
When you write it, your English brain goes deeper. You see the words, you feel the structure.
And maybe another learner will read your comment and reply.
Our question for you is, which use of would is the most confusing for you?
Write something like, the most confusing use for me is blank because blank.
Now, a smart challenge for your English brain.
Tomorrow, try to use would at least 3 times in your English conversations or writing.
Use it for requests, preferences, or hypothetical situations.
Notice how it changes the tone of what you say.
If this episode helped you, like it, subscribe to the English Brain, and share it with one friend who struggles with would.
Every time you do that, you're telling the algorithm, yes, more real English like this, please.
And remember, would is everywhere in English.
Once you start noticing it, you'll hear it constantly.
Pay attention when you listen to English. How do native speakers use would?
Copy their patterns, and soon it will feel natural for you too.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. You didn't waste it, you invested it in your English brain.
We're really proud of your effort today.
This was the English Brain Podcast with Anna and Jake. Keep training your English brain and use would with confidence.
Bye, everyone.
And now, let your English brain take the next step. Click on the next episode and keep the momentum going.